Hello everyone and welcome to episode 7 of the John Doe Review. My name is Danielle John Doe, obviously. I got this little mic on me and we are still in the daytime. I actually just got home from working a concert for my job, so I'm a little dolled up. And I'm having a blast. My job is going to be one of the topics today, but the other topics we'll also be talking about outside of my new job are, let me pull up my handy dandy iPad because I thought I could say them off of the top of my head, but I can't. Oh, okay. Starting my new job, baby shower shenanigans, because I just went to my brother and his girlfriend's baby shower. It was very cute. I'll give all the details there, but also in that story, we're going to talk about my father's greediness. Floyd, we're looking at you. After that, I'm going to talk about going to Japan because me and Hunter and my cousin and her boyfriend are actually going to Japan this month now in April towards the end. And so we have some plans for that and I'm really excited. After that, we're going to talk about Project Hail Mary. Me and Hunter actually just saw it last night and I have so many thoughts. It was amazing, but we'll unpack that later. And then lastly for today, we're going to end on me being forced to read the book Verity. If you know, you know. Okay, so if you watched last week's episode, I did announce that I quit my old job, I got a new one, I'm back in music, all of the things. Yay. I now have some actual experience in that position. I'm in my second week now. I'm only 2 weeks in, right? So I don't have much to say other than I'm having a blast. It's been lovely getting back into music and also getting back into playing my instrument. So my primary instrument's the oboe. I do a little flute on the side because I had to learn it for marching band. But I haven't really touched my oboe in months and I was kind of missing it, but I kind of felt like, what am I gonna do? Just pick it up to go frickin' work my college job where it has nothing to do with music. And my husband has been saying that for a while. Now just pick it up for fun, but I don't know, I felt really uninspired. And this new position this week, well, kind of last week, it was like hey, you might need to do this. You might need to, bring the oboe because we might need it for certain lessons. And I was like, okay, sure. And then this week it was like no, we need you to get your oboe, like for real. And so I was like, okay. And I picked it up for the first time 2 days ago in like 6 months maybe. And there's a part of my brain, even though I've played the thing for over a decade now, there's a part of my brain that's like, what if one day I just pick it up and have no idea how to make a sound or no idea how to play the thing, how to finger notes and all of those things. And, but no, I picked it up and it was fine. I mean, if you're into music, my reeds are absolutely dead. Like some of them are a couple of years old at this point. And so I hit up a friend because I'm not sitting down and buying more reed supplies and making them myself. Like, no. If you know the absolute process it is to make your own reeds. And I had to do it in college. I'm not doing it anymore. So it's been nice. It's been fun. I am assuming all instrumentalists or just like musicians in general, you hit that point, especially when you're actively in school and performing, where it's like the concept of just picking up your instrument makes you so stressed out. But now I'm in a point in my life where no, I'm genuinely picking it up to just have fun and like teach kids and spread the love of music. It's amazing. And so I'm having fun. We're in week 2. I mean, obviously I bet there's going to be, with every job, there's going to be something that comes up at some point, but right now it's looking amazing. And I'm really liking the team I'm on. I've been actually very lucky where every single job I've ever had, I've always had a pretty good dynamic with my team. Like it's never been miserable. And usually, if anything, it's been pretty fun. So with this current team I'm on, I can also feel the fun vibes kicking in, the more comfortable we get with each other. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go. I hate the beginning process of anything because there's just so much that I don't know, and there's so much that I have to learn, and I hate not knowing things. And so I wish I could just hit a button and fast forward to where, I've been here for months and I know what's going on and I know where all the things go and how all the things run, but that's something that takes time. So in the meantime, I'm just going to have to suck it up and be a sponge and absorb all of the things. And to kind of wrap up just the, new job thing, it's been really cool to see people in my life reach out to me and be like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're getting back into music. I never really thought that anybody like genuinely cared other than Hunter. Like, obviously he's my husband, so he's always like, but your talents with it and don't let those die and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you're being cheesy. But no, he wasn't the only one. People reached out to me like unprompted and were like, dude, this is awesome. I'm so happy for you. And so, yeah, overall, 2 thumbs up. I'm having a great time. And again, I said it last episode, but seriously, like, I'm so glad I left my last job to pursue something that I'm like actually interested in and passionate about. And I'm not saying everybody has to do, something they're super, super into and super, super passionate about. But if you're thinking about, if you are not satisfied where you are right now, dude, just leave. Just leave. Okay, on to our next topic. Arguably the one I'm the most excited to talk about today. My brother and his girlfriend are having a baby, so I'm going to be getting a nephew. And, well, one, I'm just very excited for them because they hit that phase in life where they were like, you know what I do? I do want to bring someone into this world and make a better person for society to have. And so I'm very, very happy for them. I think they're going to be great parents. But also, I just love babies. I love babies. I'm excited to have easy access to one. But only when the window opens. I know when babies are new, it has to be very, very germs and blah, blah, blah. But I'm so, so, so excited. The baby's due in May. So whenever after the baby is born, the second I can come and meet him, I'm going to be there. And so we had the baby shower on Saturday this past weekend, actually. And I, along with Hunter, helped kind of just plan the games for the night. So we had a couple of stuff running. We had a calendar where somebody could place bets on the baby's birthday, and you like donate to a pool of money that goes towards the couple, and you like sign which date. So me and Hunter actually signed on May 4th, because even though I'm not a Star Wars fan, I think Hunter likes Star Wars, and I just think it'd be funny that the birthday would be like May the 4th be with you, because that trends like literally every year. So that's the day we picked. But other people picked other places. One of his friends sent him a bunch of money and signed every single day, because I think it was like $5 per entry. And his friend sent him like way more than than what 30 days worth of $5 would be. But that was really awesome, just to, for him to support the couple. And so what we did with that is the winner gets to split the pool with the couple of the baby. So that's a pretty fun thing. I think if I ever have a baby, that's something I would do at my baby shower, because it adds like a little bit of, it's gambling. Look, I'm not saying gambling's good, but sometimes it's a little fun, okay? Other than that, we did a baby food tasting station where you had to like taste different baby foods and write your guesses, and then whoever got them right got a gift card. We did a station where people could come sit down and like write little notes to the couple and the baby, and that was really cute. And so, they'd write their little card out and put it in a basket. And then lastly, we had a game running for the first couple of hours of the shower, which is the Don't Say Baby game. And how we did it was each person got 3 clothespins, like stuck on them wherever they wanted. Like I had put mine like by my shoulder. And if you said baby, whoever you were talking to gets to take your clothespin and add it to their stash. And then at 9 o'clock that night, because the baby shower started at 6, so this was like low-key a party. Because I feel like usually baby showers are like, come for lunch and then you're out by 4. But no, like this went pretty late. And so at 9, whoever had the most clothespins would win a gift card, right? And so we start playing, and my dad, Floyd John Doe, he He's so diabolical. He kept walking up to people and like edging them into saying baby, but like in a really, he would walk up to somebody and be like, I was thinking of that singer, something face. And then people would be like, oh, baby face. And he'd be like, thank you. And he was so rude about it. He would just snatch it and then add it. That man started building an army of clothespins on himself. And he was getting everyone with that same thing. He almost got me. I opened my mouth and started forming the B in baby face. And then I stopped. And then he still tried to rob me. Because that's just how greedy he is. He said, oh, you tried to mumble. No, I didn't say it. That's the whole thing. It's don't say baby. Nowhere in that says I can't say buh. Okay? It was crazy. Anyways, how it got really disrespectful is we get to the part in the night where my brother and his girlfriend go to cut, the cake, like, and by the cute little dessert table, and people could take pictures. The parents gave speeches, all of that, right? As my brother is thanking everyone, thanking all of his friends, all of his family, all of her family, thanking everyone for coming to this party, showering with gifts and love and support and whatever, he says, like, we're excited for our baby. And Floyd John Doe, while my brother is thanking his guests, reaches forward and goes, thank you very much, I'll have that. And this is the problem. This is the problem with society. Because what do you mean? You're already so ahead of everyone else in this goddamn don't say baby game. This man has over 12 on his shirt. Your son is giving a speech and he slips and says baby, and you're still gonna hold him to that? But also, I gotta be fair. There's a part of me that admires the hustle, like that really stands by no excuses. If the rule is don't say baby, then don't let me catch you saying baby. Anyways, we get to the end of the game. It was from 6 to 9, right? We gave people 3 hours. And some people were fighting for their lives. My brother, lost all of his pins at one point and then gained back some, and then lost all of them and then gained back some. I never lost all of mine, though. I had a couple. I had 6 or 7 on mine. But 6, 7, oh my God. Oh my God, being back in the classroom is ruining my brain. Anyways, we hit 9 o'clock. I count my dad's clothespins, right? This man has 14 on him, and he's wearing them proud. But you know what? He would have had 16, but my brother got him back after that. He came up to my dad, and I forgot what they were talking about. I forgot what the context of it was, but they were talking, and my dad said baby, and then my brother egged him on again and was like, oh, yeah. Say that again. What was it? And then my dad's like, yeah, the baby. And then my brother goes, and that's 2. Bow. Takes them from my dad. And I missed it. All I heard was my dad started yelling. And then my brother started laughing really loud. And he was like, what? And then he was like, he got me twice. And he couldn't get over it. And I'm living for the fact that my brother was so disrespectful about it. Because he didn't let him just say it once. He wanted to really nail in, oh, you said it and I'm gonna make you say it again. And you don't even know. You don't even know the mind games I'm playing on you right now. You're not even clocking that I'm standing on business. Run me my pins. Or whatever Justin Bieber said. But, so yeah, he would have had 16. He ended up with 14. And so I walk out into the garage because we also had the garage set up for people to hang out. And so I'm walking around and I find One of my brother's friends' girlfriends, she had 13 on her. And so I tell her, I'm like, dang it. You missed it by one, because my dad had 14. And her boyfriend, who's my brother's friend, actually, they've been friends for like a really long time. He takes his clothespin off and looks at me and pins it to like the back pocket of her jeans. Anyway, he pinned like 2 or something like that. And I look at her and I go, you know what? Because of his greed and because he's my dad, I said, you know what? Congratulations, girl. And I gave her the gift card. And then like they're all laughing at that. And as I'm walking back in, because also she's like, yeah, I'm not going to give the gift card to my dad. I'm going to give it to a guest who came. And I know if my dad watches this, he's going to be, well, one, he's going to be shocked. Because I did tell him that she won fair and square. So he will be actively realizing as he watches this that I did fib just a little bit. But after I give her the gift card, I go back inside. And as I open the door from the garage, my dad is walking out to find me. And he looks at me and he goes, so I won? And I go, so close, Dad. You missed it by 2. And he was like, what? And then he like starts saying like, man, it was her boyfriend. And I'm like, I don't know. Like she really did have some. And then later on I was talking about it with my friends and I was like, I would hate to see him win after all that he did. After all of the plotting, the scheming, the disrespect. I couldn't give him that $10 gift card, man. And so, Dad, if you're watching this, which he actually might actually watch it, because he did get on me the other day. He was like, Danny, you're cussing in your videos. And I said, Dad, these videos are for the girlies, okay? And I said, do you want to be a girly? And he said, no, but I want to support you. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. But Dad, if you're watching this, you did win. You did win. And you know what? I'll give you $10. I'll give you $10 right now. If you catch this, let me know and I'll sell them to you. Overall, the baby shower was so beautiful. It was really, really fun. It's very exciting. It's an exciting time in my brother's life. And so I'm excited to see him become a dad and, help support and then have a little baby because I love babies. Am I going through baby fever just a little bit? Yes. Do I want a kid right now? No. Somebody asked me if me and Hunter were trying. Also, let's talk about how weird that sounds. Are you guys trying to have a baby? We're going to move past that. If anything, we might have a kid in the next couple of years, but not right now. We're going to Japan. I can't take a baby to Japan. That's a long flight. But anyways, it was a lovely day. I'm very happy I got to be there. Very excited for this next step. And congratulations to my brother. Yay! Okay, next topic, going to Japan. Me and Hunter and my cousin and her boyfriend are going to Japan in like 3 weeks. Mind you, we've been trying to plan this trip since like 2019. It's been like, I was in college. And so then I was like, just go without us. Send pictures. It's going to be amazing. You could be our guides on the next trip. But then the stars aligned and I realized, oh my God, me and Hunter literally can go. We can literally go. So shout out my cousin for actually just freaking planning the trip because I feel like it lit a fire under my butt to figure things out. And so I've been wanting to go to Japan for a really long time. I've been to South America. I've been to Europe a couple of times. But I've never been to anywhere in Asia. So Japan is definitely one of the spots I want to hit. And then I do want to hit some other countries in Asia as well. Hunter has never been outside of the US ever. He's been outside of Texas, but never outside of the US. So it's a very exciting time for him because not only is he leaving the US for the first time, but he's like, I feel like Japan is just like the complete opposite of what the US would be like. And that's what I've heard. Like I've had family members who have been to Japan and they're like, it's a complete 180 from like how the US is. Like some people say, oh, it's like you go over there and they're living in the future. So I'm very, very excited. We do have some things planned, like buying, apparently Japanese denim is a really, really good quality denim. I did not know that, but now our plans are to get some of that. We're gonna get some Onitsuka tigers. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but apparently they're really expensive outside of Japan. But in Japan, they're much more reasonable, and I've been needing like a stylish like street shoe, and they're cute. So why not get them where they're from? Other than that, we're kind of just gonna be vibing and shopping the entire time. Every time I travel, it's like we usually have a loose itinerary, and then we can kind of just vibe throughout the day because I don't want there to be any stress. And also I like to just, if we're in an area, I like to explore and not have to worry about, oh, we have this at exactly 3 o'clock, we need to be there. We do have some things that are scheduled, but it's very minimal. For example, one of the things I really wanted to do, if you know medieval times where you like eat a dinner and you watch like a medieval like jousting show with knights, they essentially have a version of that where it's sumo wrestling with sorry, Hunter just got home from work. Which it's so weird that I like usually 9.9 times out of 10 he's always home like well before I am, so it's a nice change. I beat him home. But I had to let the dogs out because they were going crazy. It's essentially their version of that where it's sumo wrestling and hot pot and much more intimate. It's not like this huge arena. It's like there's seating on all sides, but it's like maybe 4 rows, and then you get hot pot and you get drinks and stuff. And the one we booked, you get to like learn the history of sumo wrestling, and then they kind of teach you how to watch a match, and then you like watch a match with like actual sumo wrestlers. And then I think this one lets you volunteer to like actually fight the sumo wrestler. And I won't be doing that. But I will try to convince Hunter to do it. So we'll see. We'll see if he's up for the challenge. Other than that, we're still kind of figuring out exactly what we want to do and when we want to do it, but we have some time. We've booked the stuff that like you really have to book in advance. But other than that, we're still kind of just vibing out, finding things on TikTok that we're interested in, like looking into areas that we want to go explore. So if you have any recommendations, especially if you've been to Japan, please, please, please reach out and let me know. Moving on to watching Project Hail Mary. Honestly, I don't even know how to describe. I don't even know how to describe my thoughts on it. It was, okay. So if you haven't seen anything regarding it, I'll give kind of like a short summary, and I won't, have any spoilers in there. But basically, it's about this guy who's a scientist, but currently he's like teaching school. I think it was like middle school or something like that, actually. And he's played by Ryan Gosling. And basically, scientists find out that there's some sort of bacteria thing eating the sun, which is causing the sun to dim, which obviously would be a very big deal, because the sun would cool down the entire planet, and then things would die, people would starve, people die, all of those things, war, and so then he ends up getting sent out there along with like other people, but they die, and he's the only one who's like left up to this, and then some crazy shit happens, and you just have to watch it for yourself. Now, here's where spoilers come in. So if you haven't seen it, skip past this. I do not watch movie trailers because I feel like they spoil too much. And I am so glad I didn't watch this trailer because I was not expecting him to literally come in contact with an alien. I was expecting this would almost give kind of like Interstellar or like Gravity, where he's like literally by himself and like shit's just going wrong. But no, he meets an alien. He ends up naming him Rocky because he looks like a rock, which like, honestly, I saw Rocky and then in my head he was like, he's gonna name him Rocky. And then he did. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so what kind of ensues is they figure out a way to communicate with each other. And I'll spare you all of those details because honestly, you just really need to watch it. It's a very beautiful story. But I loved Ryan Gosling in this movie. And look, I will say, I've never been like a Ryan Gosling. Am I saying his last name right? Gosling? Ryan Gosling? Ryan Gosling? Anyways, I have been kind of just like every time I see him in a movie, I'm never like, oh my God, he's here. I love Ryan. Like, I've never been like that. But I've also never been a hater of him. This film made me a fan of him. Like, I had never expected, in my brain, he was kind of like a funny, goofy actor who like does kind of random shit. And it's never going to be something as serious as a movie like Project Hail Mary. But no, he nailed this role. Especially, I haven't read the book, but I have watched reviews from people who read the books, and they describe his character, which his character goes by Grace in the movie. And even they say like he nailed the personification of this character really, really well. And I loved how in this film, it did a great balance of like, there's high stakes, there's interesting science stuff, there's humor that's not corny. Because that's a big thing for me, is like sometimes when humor is in movies where it's like, you know, there's scary stuff happening, I'll sit there kind of like, okay, haha, whatever. Can we like get back to it? But no, the humor of his character Grace, just Grace by himself, and then also Grace with Rocky. Wow, the dynamic between the two of them was amazing. And mind you, like this alien thing can't even talk. It's just like, it's like making these like tonal noises and whatever. But Ryan's character figures out how to design something that makes them, you know, be that basically Rocky's insanely smart and Ryan's character is also insanely smart. But they're smart in different ways. And so their brains put together kind of makes them able to solve this dilemma that they're both in, because he discovers that Rocky's from a different planet. But what's crazy is Rocky was essentially able to figure out how to understand Grace as a person, but Grace could not understand him and had to like design this software and stuff. And like, dude, it was the banter between the two of them. Insane. And I love that they had this dynamic of like, this is my weak spot, but this is your strong suit. And it's just, it was so well done. You end up falling in love with their friendship and their bond. And then basically you find out Rocky is also from this other planet that is having the same issue that Earth is having. And so they end up working together and figuring it out together. They actually literally figure it out, which is crazy. I was expecting this movie to end in like a major tragedy, which like low-key, they did do a fake out on Rocky's death. And did I cry? Absolutely. Absolutely. I sobbed. And then he ended up living though. He took a little sleep. And obviously Grace had to watch over him and protect him, because that's a thing. You got to watch the movie to understand more. And he ended up living. And then, oh my God, the best part, which is like kind of the saddest part, but basically they end up splitting ways because they're able to get the things to save their planets. They go their separate ways. Mind you, the fuel he has in his ship is solely because Rocky lent him fuel in the first place, because Rocky was like, no, because Grace was sent out here essentially on a suicide mission to, you know, save humanity. And we find out Grace didn't even want to do it. He was very much a coward and was kind of forced into this role, and then ends up bodying the mission by himself with Rocky, obviously. And so he realizes, okay, I have this fuel that I was given, where before I didn't even think I could go back home. Like it wasn't a possibility. I was going to come out here, figure out the shit, send it over, and die in space, right? But now I have the opportunity to go home. Rocky, who has helped me all this way, who has helped me save my planet, he's going to die a slow, painful death because of this situation. So either it's I go get him or I go home. And he does, in my opinion, the best thing, which is he sends the shit to Earth and he goes and gets his boy. And he shows up, and then they do another fake out and they make you assume that, oh my God, Rocky did die from the radiation and whatever, and oh my God. And then he comes out. And it was amazing. It's like, it's genuinely such a happy ending for the movie. And I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be either a very sad ending or an extremely bittersweet ending. But no, it was a beautiful ending. The Earth gets saved. It's like kind of iced over. And you could tell like a lot of people have probably died by that point. But you can tell they got it probably just in time before it got like where they couldn't recover. And so we see that resolution, but then also we see Grace on Rocky's planet because Rocky's species is so genius. They're like little genius engineers. They made him like a little bubble to live in that he could survive in, where like, you know, he could breathe the air, there's water, he's like on a beach, he like has his own little setup. And you kind of pick up throughout the movie that Grace's passion in life essentially is science, but also teaching. And so then you see this last little scene where, you know, he's with Rocky and Rocky tells him, hey, you know, you can go back home. We've fixed your ship and you can leave. And then Grace is like, can I think about it? And then Rocky's like, yes, think about it for as long as you want. Because obviously, you know, he wants to stay with him. And then you see Grace get up and he like walks into this little area and then he says like, somebody tell me the speed of light. And then the camera cuts and you see like a bunch of little Rockies. I think they're called like Iridians or something. But what a beautiful ending. He got to save his planet. He got to continue his passion of teaching and science. And he got to keep his friend and save his friend's planet. And so I loved the movie. I think it was beautiful. And it was like 2.5-ish hours. But dude, they pack so much. Like I watched other analysis videos, and I really recommend if you've seen this movie and you haven't watched these analysis videos, like go and watch them. They're amazing. But like you could tell they really took care of the science aspects of it. And then obviously they had to stretch some areas, but for the most part, like they were really, really diligent in how they were going to build this story. And yeah, 10 out of 10 movie. Like actually, the only critique I have, and it's pretty rare when I have this critique, is I genuinely wish it was longer. Like I wish I got to see more of Grace's past, of Rocky's past, and then also just the resolution. Like what was it like when Grace got to Rocky's planet? Like how did that even, because look, something me and Hunter talked about, if Grace brought Rocky to Earth, man, I feel like they would have put him in a tank and experimented on him and probably accidentally killed him. But Rocky's planet like literally was so thankful to Grace. And they were like, we're going to do whatever we can to show our thanks and set you up and even send you home if you want. And just, wow. I could say more, but I'm going to wrap it up there. Go see the movie. It was very beautiful. I cried a couple of times. And I loved how the story resolved. So shout out people who were telling me to watch it. I had a couple of friends reach out to me because they know like me and Hunter are into movies. And they're like, dude, if you haven't watched this movie, you need to go watch it. Thank you. Thank you for telling me to watch it. I don't regret it. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it literally like yesterday. And our last topic today, it's regarding being forced to read a book called Verity by Colleen Hoover. I had never heard of it. Apparently it's getting turned into a movie this year with Anne Hathaway and what's her name? Dakota Johnson. And I like both of them, so I'm interested. And so my sister-in-law basically gave me the book unprompted while I was over at my in-laws' house and was like, hey, my friend got put inside of this reading chain, and then she made me a part of the reading chain. And so I read it and I signed my name, and now you're a part of the reading chain. And I was like, what? And I look and there's like 10 people who have like read this book and signed their names and put what city and state they're from. And so I'm like, oh my God. And I've heard some things about Colleen Hoover's writing, primarily that it's cliche and like maybe not the best, but I've never actually read her writing for myself. And look, I'm not like the biggest writing critique out there. Like I do have writing that if I really do think it's bad, I can't read it. But I'm also one of those people where I can genuinely read something for the entertainment, even if it's not the best written. So I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't, because again, I had heard that it was pretty rough writing from her, and so that was kind of throwing me off, because I'm like, I mean, I could do with a little bit, but if it's really bad and cliche, like, no, I don't want to do it. And my sister-in-law was like, no, you have to read it, and you have to continue the chain, because who else am I going to give it to? And I was like, okay. So I took the book and didn't read it for a couple of weeks. and she kept asking like, have you read it? And so then eventually I said, okay, me and Hunter will read it on the ride to Dallas for the baby shower that I spoke about earlier. We didn't read it on the drive to Dallas, and we also didn't really read it on the ride back, but towards the end of the drive, maybe like in the last hour and a half-ish, the guilt was eating at me because I was like, I did say we would read it on this trip. And so I picked it up and I started reading it. And the first sentence was like something about like blood splattering across her face from like this guy who got hit. And I was like, whoa, whoa. And look, one thing about me is I can get hooked. I can get hooked. If you do that first sentence right, I can do it. So we started the book, read, I want to say like a fifth of it in that last like hour and a half. Because it's not a super long book. And look, I stand corrected, and this could be, maybe just one of her best books, and maybe she is like genuinely just not that great of a writer, but I'm enjoying it. Is it the most mind-blowing, beautifully written novel I've ever read? No, but it's entertaining, and the story, that's what's really holding me. The story is messy. Basically, look, I haven't finished the book, so don't drop spoilers, but basically, this lady is a writer and then gets hired on to finish this book series for another writer who had an accident, who's like essentially like a kind of like a vegetable at this point. And she ends up living in the house of this writer, her son, and then the writer's husband. Mind you, 2 of their children have died somewhat recently. And then the writer got into this car accident that like paralyzed her, and they don't really know how much she knows cognitively. They think she has the mind of a toddler at this point or something like that, and she can't even walk. Long story short, the main character, Lowen, wants that lady's man. And look, the way they describe him, okay, I get it. He's handsome. He sounds like a great guy. But here's the thing. She primarily wants him because she found the writer who's like paralyzed. She found her autobiography. And in this autobiography, she finds out that this writer is like psycho. Like she's like low-key a terrible, but actually high-key a terrible person. Like got pregnant. Lord, I can't even. She got pregnant. And like saw that her husband like was very excited about these babies and then started feeling jealous that he was going to love her babies more than he loves her. And so then she's like putting on this front that like, oh, I love you. And yes, I'm so excited to be a mom. But then like tried to give her a coat hanger abortion in the bathroom that failed and ended up scarring the baby. What? What is happening? And then also this writer, her name is Verity. The book is named after her. But wow. And like you read this autobiography like with Lowen, the main character. Because it'll be like Lowen is like, fine, I'll read another chapter. And then you turn the page and it'll be like chapter 2. And it'll be chapter 2 of the autobiography because you'll be on like chapter like 11 of the actual book, right? And so, man, Lowen is finding out all of this crazy information about her, but also she's finding out sexual information about the man because this lady in her autobiography is airing out their bedroom business. And Lowen's like kind of living for it. It's all messy. And so she starts falling for the husband. But hey, don't feel too bad for Verity, the writer, though, because on the side, what makes all of this worse is you start, at least in my opinion, I haven't finished the book, you kind of start realizing that this lady probably killed her 2 daughters because they died in weird accidents. And then she also probably tried to kill herself or faked trying to kill herself because apparently she's supposed to be like paralyzed, but there's been weird shit happening, things moving, footsteps happening outside of Lowen's door, and the little boy, the last remaining living child, he's 5, shout out crew, he's 5, mysteriously gets cut on his chin with a knife, and he's saying he didn't do it, but then Lowen's like, did your mom do this? And then he gets really weird about it. That bitch is plotting. She's plotting. In my opinion, she's faking that she's paralyzed. She did kill her daughters. She's trying to kill the son. Hell, she might try to kill her husband, Jeremy, and Lowen too, because Lowen will be like, she'll be in the room, and then Verity's like looking at her and her head's turned toward her, even though she's not supposed to be able to move like that. Man, and I will say some of these moments, Colleen got me scrunching my toes because I'm scared. But it's entertaining. Look, can I definitively say Colleen Hoover is an amazing book writer? No, I haven't read anything else. But this book, I'm sad. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to finish it. Me and Hunter have been reading a couple of chapters every day, like trading off who's reading. But if you need a good novel that'll like really confuse you, but like also excite you because like you want to figure out exactly what's going on because you're so confused, read this book. And it's really not that long. I think it's like 200 something pages. And even then, like, the text is big on him. So we're kind of blazing through. We're over halfway through at this point. But I can only imagine what else is going to happen because I think this girl Verity is actually plotting and she's going to kill everyone. And honestly, would I feel that bad for Lowen? Maybe a little, but I also think she's plotting on this girl's husband. But also, I think the husband, Jeremy, and Verity's relationship was never a good one in the first place. So I don't even know whose side I'm on. I think I'm on Jeremy's side, but overall, I'm on Crew's side, the 5-year-old. Why is he named Crew? I don't care, but I want Crew to live. If Crew dies, I'm gonna be mad. And yeah, that's the end of the episode. I have to rate the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna rate the last 2 weeks 4.2 stars. 4.2. Actually 4.3 because Verity, the book, was a surprise. Not Verity, the person, though. I mean, I guess she's a surprise, but a bad one. Verity, the book, though, great surprise. I'm having a good time. And then also starting my new job. I'm very excited. Got to celebrate my brother's baby, my nephew, and yeah, we are on the up. So, and then also, you know what? 4.4. Shout out Hunter. He got promoted at work. So congratulations to him. We are up in this household. And it's only even more up from here because we're going to Japan. And I'm getting a nephew. But yeah, the past 2 weeks have been great. I'm excited to see what the next 2 weeks have in store. I will see you guys in 2 Sundays. Make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Thank you for listening, and I will see you soon. Bye.